The perfect evening. The crystal chandelier sparkled above Manhattan's elite, as Elena Martinez stood in the center of Marcus Blackwood's penthouse. Her engagement ring caught the light, sending rainbow reflections across the marble floor. She wore a red silk dress that hugged her curves perfectly. Tonight was supposed to be the happiest night of her life. To Elena and Marcus, someone shouted. Champagne glasses clinked throughout the room. Elena smiled and searched for her fiancé in the crowd. Marcus Blackwood was everything a woman could want. Tall, handsome, successful. His family owned half of Manhattan's real estate. When he proposed 3 months ago, Elena felt like Cinderella finding her prince. Her art gallery, Martinez Dreams, had been her passion project for 5 years. She built it from nothing using her family's small savings and her own hard work. Now, with Marcus by her side, she was finally getting recognition from the art world. Her best friend Victoria stood beside her, squeezing her hand. "You deserve this happiness," Victoria whispered. "After everything you've been through." Elena's heart warmed. Victoria had been her friend since college. They shared everything: dreams, secrets, tears, and laughter. Having her here tonight made everything perfect. ## the bathroom discovery. "I need to use the restroom," Elena said, setting down her champagne glass. The party was getting louder, and she needed a moment to breathe. She walked down the long hallway toward Marcus's private office. The bathroom was just beyond it, but as she passed the office door, she heard voices inside. Marcus's voice, and another voice that sounded familiar. "Are you sure she doesn't suspect anything?" the woman's voice asked. Elena's hand froze on the bathroom doorknob. That voice belonged to Victoria. "Elena? She's clueless," Marcus laughed. It was a cold laugh Elena had never heard before. "She actually thinks I love her. The stupid girl handed over everything I needed." Elena's heart stopped. She pressed her ear against the office door. "The property deeds?" Victoria asked. "Signed and transferred yesterday," Marcus replied. "Her family's land in Brooklyn is now mine. Worth $20 million, and she gave it to me for free. All I had to do was convince her it was a romantic gesture, to combine our assets before marriage." Elena's hands trembled. "The papers she signed last week." Marcus said it was just paperwork for their future together. He said it would help with taxes. She trusted him completely. "What about the gallery?" Victoria asked. "Already mine," Marcus said proudly. "I've been buying up her debts for months. One phone call and I can shut down Martinez Dreams forever. But I'll wait until after we're married. Make it look like business, not personal." Victoria giggled. "You're brilliant, baby." "Baby?" Elena's stomach twisted. "Come here," Marcus said. Elena heard the sound of kissing. Her fiancé was kissing her best friend in his office while their engagement party happened outside. "When will you tell her about us?" Victoria asked. "Tonight," Marcus said. "Why wait? I have everything I need from her now. The land, the connections to her family's business partners, even her stupid little gallery." Elena Martinez served her purpose. Elena's vision blurred with tears. She stumbled backward, her high heel catching on the carpet. She grabbed the wall to steady herself. "Did you hear something?" Victoria asked. Elena ran. She didn't care if they heard her. She ran down the hallway, past the laughing party guests toward the front door. "Elena!" her mother's voice called out. "Where are you going, mihija?" Elena couldn't stop. She burst through the front door and into the building's hallway. The elevator took forever. She watched the numbers climb 10, 15. Finally, it opened on Marcus's floor, the 30th. "Going down?" an elderly man asked from inside. Elena rushed in and pressed the lobby button repeatedly. "Close, please close," she whispered. Just as the doors began to shut, a hand stopped them. Marcus stood there, his perfect smile in place. Behind him, Victoria looked concerned. Or was it fake concern? "Elena, darling, where are you running off to?" Marcus asked smoothly. "The party is just beginning. ## the public destruction." "I heard you," Elena said, her voice shaking. "I heard everything." Marcus's smile didn't fade. Instead, it grew wider, colder. "Oh? And what exactly did you hear?" "You used me," Elena whispered. "You stole my family's property. You took my business. You never loved me. The elevator doors opened in the lobby. People were walking past, busy with their own lives. They had no idea Elena's world was ending. Let's go back upstairs and discuss this privately, Marcus said, reaching for her arm. Elena jerked away. Don't touch me. Fine, Marcus said, his voice turning ice cold. You want to do this here? Let's do this here. He pulled out his phone and made a call. Cancel the engagement party setup. Yes now. Tell everyone to come downstairs to the lobby. We're having a different kind of announcement. Elena's blood turned cold. What are you doing? You heard the truth, Elena, Marcus said calmly. So now everyone else will hear it too. Within 10 minutes, all the party guests crowded into the building's fancy lobby. Elena's parents stood confused in the corner. Her younger brother looked worried. All of Marcus's rich friends surrounded them like a pack of wolves. Marcus put his arm around Victoria's waist. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement. The engagement is off. I'm actually in love with Victoria. We've been together for 6 months. Gasps filled the lobby. Elena's mother grabbed her father's arm for support. Elena was useful, Marcus continued, his eyes dead and emotionless. She gave me access to her family's business connections. She signed over property deeds worth millions without even reading them. She was so desperate for love that she handed me everything on a silver platter. Laughter erupted from some of Marcus's friends. Elena felt like she was drowning. The art gallery she's so proud of? Marcus smiled cruelly. I own it. Every painting, every piece, every debt. With one phone call tomorrow, Martinez Dreams becomes Blackwood Gallery. And Elena? She'll have nothing. Victoria stepped forward, fake sympathy on her face. Oh, Elena, don't look so heartbroken. You're just not sophisticated enough for this world. Marcus needs someone who understands real power. Someone like me. Elena's father stepped forward, anger blazing in his eyes. You stole from us. We trusted you with our family's property. You signed the papers legally, Marcus shrugged. Take me to court if you want. My lawyers will crush you. You'll spend whatever money you have left on legal fees and still lose. Elena felt her legs give out. Her brother caught her before she hit the marble floor. Come on, everyone, Marcus called to his friends. Party's over here. Let's go celebrate at my penthouse. Without the dead weight. The crowd laughed and followed Marcus and Victoria back to the elevators. Some looked uncomfortable, but none spoke up for Elena. They were all Marcus's people, wealthy, powerful, and cruel. Elena's mother knelt beside her on the cold floor. Mi amor will fix this. We'll fight him. But Elena knew the truth. Marcus was too powerful. He had lawyers and money and connections. Her family had nothing compared to him. ## the aftermath. The next 3 weeks were a nightmare. Marcus followed through on every threat. He called in the gallery's debts. Elena watched as movers cleared out every piece of art she'd spent years collecting. Her dream died in front of her eyes. The property her grandparents left her family gone. Legally transferred to Marcus through paperwork Elena signed with trust and love. Her father tried to fight it, but Marcus's lawyers buried them in legal motions they couldn't afford to combat. Worse than the financial loss was the social destruction. Victoria spread rumors throughout their social circle. She told everyone Elena had been mentally unstable, that she'd forced Marcus into an engagement, that she'd trapped him with lies and manipulation. People Elena thought were friends stopped returning her calls. Gallery owners who promised her shows canceled. Artists who wanted to work with her disappeared. Elena stopped leaving her tiny apartment. She stopped answering the phone. She stopped eating. She lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, wondering how everything went so wrong. Her mother visited daily, bringing food Elena didn't eat and comfort Elena couldn't accept. You need to get up, her mother said one morning. This isn't you, Elena. You're a fighter. I have nothing left to fight for, Elena whispered. You have yourself, her mother said firmly. They took your money and your business, but they didn't take your spirit. Not unless you let them. But Elena's spirit felt broken beyond repair. She had loved Marcus with everything she had. She trusted Victoria with her deepest secrets. The betrayal cut deeper than any financial loss. 1 month after the destroyed engagement party, Elena sat on her apartment floor surrounded by unpaid bills. The electricity would be shut off tomorrow. She'd already lost her car. Her beautiful apartment would be gone next month. She picked up a photo from her gallery's opening night. She looked so happy and hopeful in that picture. That Elena seemed like a stranger now. A knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. "Go away, Mama," Elena called out. "I'm fine." "I'm not your mother," a woman's voice said. "My name is Catherine Stone. I'm here to offer you something." Elena didn't move. "I'm not interested in whatever you're selling." "I'm not selling anything," the woman said. "I'm offering you a chance at revenge." Elena's eyes snapped open. She crawled to the door and looked through the peephole. A tall woman in an expensive suit stood in the hallway. She had silver gray hair and sharp eyes. Elena opened the door a crack. "Who are you?" "I told you. Catherine Stone. I'm a consultant who specializes in helping women destroyed by powerful men." She smiled, and it was a smile that understood pain. "I know what Marcus Blackwood did to you. I know about the stolen property and the broken trust. I know about Victoria's betrayal. And I know you're sitting in there thinking your life is over." "It is over," Elena said flatly. "No, dear," Catherine said. "It's just beginning. But only if you're brave enough to transform your pain into power." "I don't understand." Catherine handed Elena a business card through the crack in the door. "Meet me at this address tomorrow at 9 a.m. Come or don't come, that's your choice. But if you come, I'll teach you how to take back everything Marcus stole. And I'll teach you how to make sure he never destroys another woman the way he destroyed you." "Why would you help me?" Elena asked suspiciously. Catherine's eyes grew distant. "Because 15 years ago, a man like Marcus Blackwood destroyed me. No one helped me then. I rebuilt myself alone and it took years. I'm offering you a shortcut, if you're strong enough to take it." "What do I have to do?" "Show up tomorrow," Catherine said. "After that, the work begins. It won't be easy. You'll need to become someone new. Someone Marcus and Victoria won't recognize until it's too late." Catherine turned to leave, then paused. "Oh, and Elena? Stop crying over them. Tears won't hurt them. But careful planning, patience, and perfect execution? That will destroy them completely." Elena watched Catherine walk away. She looked at the business card. Catherine Stone, Consultant for Women's Empowerment. Elena sat on her floor for hours holding that card. Part of her wanted to ignore it and give up. But a small voice deep inside, the voice of the Elena who built an art gallery from nothing, whispered, "Get up. Fight back. Make them pay." As the sun set on the worst month of her life, Elena Martinez made a decision. She would show up tomorrow. She would learn from Catherine Stone. And she would transform herself into someone powerful enough to destroy the people who broke her. Marcus Blackwood thought he'd won. He had no idea the war was just beginning. End of part 1. Sometimes the only way to heal a broken heart is to forge it into a weapon. Continue to part 2 to see Elena's transformation from victim to warrior. Part 2 Phoenix Rising. The first day. Elena stood outside an expensive building in Midtown Manhattan. The address on Catherine Stone's card led her here. Her hand shook as she pressed the buzzer for the 15th floor. "Yes." Catherine's voice came through the speaker. "It's Elena Martinez," she said quietly. "Come up." The elevator was clean and modern. Elena caught her reflection in the mirrored walls. She looked terrible. Dark circles under her eyes, messy hair, wrinkled clothes. She looked like exactly what she was. A broken woman who'd lost everything. The elevator doors opened directly into a beautiful loft apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. Everything was white and silver and elegant. Catherine stood by the window wearing another perfect suit. "You came," Catherine said, sounding pleased. "That took courage." "I don't feel courageous," Elena admitted. "I feel scared and angry and lost." "Good," Catherine said. "Fear and anger are useful. They'll fuel your transformation. Being lost means you can choose any direction to go. And I suggest you choose the direction that leads to power." Catherine gestured to a chair. "Sit. We have much to discuss." Elena sat nervously. "What exactly are you offering me?" Training, Catherine said simply. For the next year you'll live here with me. I'll teach you everything I know about business, strategy, and survival in a world built by powerful men. You'll learn to think like they think, fight like they fight, and win like they win. I can't afford, Elena started. Catherine waved her hand. I don't want your money. I want your commitment. For 1 year you belong to me. You do exactly what I say when I say it. No questions, no arguments. At the end of that year, you'll be ready to take down Marcus Blackwood. Why? Elena asked. Why help me? Catherine was quiet for a moment. Then she walked to a cabinet and pulled out a photograph. She handed it to Elena. The photo showed a younger Catherine, maybe 30 years old, standing with a handsome man outside a restaurant. She looked happy and in love. His name was Richard Chun, Catherine said softly. He was my partner in both business and life. We built a tech company together. We were going to change the world. Her voice turned bitter. Then his business partner, James Blackwood, destroyed us. He stole our patents, ruined our reputation, and buried us in lawsuits we couldn't win. Blackwood? Elena whispered. Marcus's father? The same, Catherine nodded. Richard couldn't handle the betrayal. He killed himself 6 months after we lost everything. I was left alone, broken and poor. I'm so sorry, Elena said. Don't be sorry, Catherine said firmly. I spent 5 years rebuilding myself. I learned how to play their game better than they did. I made my fortune back and then some. But it was too late for Richard. And it was too late to punish James. He died of a heart attack before I could touch him. Catherine looked Elena in the eyes. But his son is still here. Marcus Blackwood learned everything from his father, including how to destroy innocent people for profit. When I heard what he did to you, I knew fate was giving me a second chance. Through you, I can finally get revenge on the Blackwood family. Elena understood now. This wasn't just about helping her. Catherine wanted to hurt Marcus because of what his father did. So I'm just a tool for your revenge? No, Catherine said. You'll get your revenge too. This benefits both of us. I teach you how to win. You use those skills to destroy Marcus. We both get what we want. Elena thought about it. Part of her felt like Catherine was using her the same way Marcus did. But another part, the angry, hurt part, didn't care. She wanted Marcus to suffer. She wanted Victoria to pay. If working with Catherine got her that outcome, did the motivation really matter? What do I have to do? Elena asked. Catherine smiled. First, you need to disappear completely. Elena Martinez needs to die. You'll create a new identity, a new look, a new life. When you return to New York, Marcus won't recognize you. That's when the real work begins. ## the transformation begins. The first month was the hardest. Catherine woke Elena at 5 a.m. every morning. They started with physical training. A strong body creates a strong mind, Catherine explained as Elena struggled through her 5th mile on the treadmill. Marcus thinks you're weak. We'll prove him wrong. After physical training came business classes. Catherine taught Elena about corporate strategy, stock markets, real estate law, and financial manipulation. Marcus used legal tricks to steal from you, Catherine said. We'll use the same tricks to steal everything back. But first, you need to understand how the game is played. Elena learned about shell corporations and offshore accounts. She learned how rich people hid money and moved assets to avoid taxes. She learned the loopholes Marcus probably used to steal her family's property. In the afternoons, they worked on Elena's appearance. A stylist came to cut and dye her long black hair into a sophisticated short platinum blonde style. A makeup artist taught her how to look powerful instead of pretty. You're beautiful, the makeup artist said. But pretty girls are forgettable. Powerful women are remembered. Catherine hired a voice coach to help Elena lose her slight Spanish accent and speak with the crisp authority of old money. Your heritage is beautiful, Catherine told her. But in the world we're entering, you need to sound like you were born into wealth. It's not fair, but it's reality. The hardest part was the etiquette training. Elena learned which fork to use at fancy dinners. She learned how to walk in expensive heels without wobbling. She learned how to make small talk with rich people about topics she'd never cared about. Yachts, vacation homes, private schools. This is exhausting. Elena said one night after a particularly brutal day. Why do I need to know about wine regions and polo matches? Because Marcus's world values these things, Catherine explained. To destroy him, you need to enter his world. And to enter his world, you need to speak his language. At night, Elena fell into bed exhausted. But sometimes she lay awake, wondering if this was all crazy. Was she really going to transform herself just for revenge? Was it worth it? Then she'd remember Marcus's cold laugh, Victoria's fake sympathy, her mother's tears when they lost the family property. Yes, she decided. It was worth it. ## 6 months later. Look at yourself, Catherine said. Elena stood in front of a full-length mirror. She barely recognized her own reflection. The platinum blonde hair framed her face elegantly. Her body was lean and strong from months of training. She wore a designer suit that cost more than her old apartment's monthly rent. But the biggest change was in her eyes. They weren't soft anymore. They were sharp and focused and dangerous. You look like you belong in their world now, Catherine said approvingly. But looking the part isn't enough. Now we need to build your new identity. Over the next 3 months, Catherine helped Elena create Ella Moretti, a mysterious investor who made her fortune in European real estate and was now looking to expand into the American market. They built an entire fake history. Ella grew up in Italy, attended Oxford University, and worked for several major investment firms before starting her own company. Catherine used her connections to plant articles about Ella Moretti in financial magazines. She created social media accounts with carefully curated photos. The internet makes this easier, Catherine explained. 20 years ago, creating a fake identity was nearly impossible. Now, with enough money and the right connections, you can become anyone. They set up real companies under Ella's name. Catherine funded them with her own money, which Ella would pay back once she took down Marcus. Ella Moretti became a real person on paper, with bank accounts, credit history, and a growing reputation in the business world. Why invest so much in this? Elena asked. This must be costing you millions. Consider it an investment in justice, Catherine smiled. Besides, when you take down Marcus, you'll recover your family's property. That alone is worth $20 million. You'll pay me back from that. Elena practiced being Ella constantly. She walked like Ella, confident and bold. She talked like Ella, with a slight Italian accent instead of Spanish. She even thought like Ella, cold, calculating, always looking for advantage. Elena Martinez was soft and trusting, Catherine said during one training session. Ella Moretti is hard and strategic. Elena gave her heart away freely. Ella keeps her heart locked away where no one can touch it. By the 9-month mark, Elena barely remembered who she used to be. Sometimes she'd catch herself and feel sad about it. The old Elena loved art and poetry. She believed in the goodness of people. She was gentle and kind. I've lost myself, Elena said one night. No, Catherine corrected. You found a new version of yourself. One strong enough to survive in a cruel world. When this is over, you can decide which version you want to keep. ## The plan takes shape. In the final 3 months, Catherine and Elena developed their strategy. Marcus's company is successful, but it has weaknesses, Catherine explained, pointing to financial reports spread across her desk. He expanded too fast. He has several properties that are bleeding money. And he's made enemies, lots of them. How do we use that? Elena asked. We make him weak, Catherine said. Then we strike. First, Ella Moretti will start buying shares in his company through shell corporations. He won't know it's you. Slowly, quietly, you'll gain control. Won't he notice someone buying large amounts of stock? Not if we're smart, Catherine smiled. We'll use multiple fake companies to buy small amounts. Death by 1,000 cuts. By the time he realizes what's happening, you'll own enough shares to challenge his decisions. Elena felt excitement building. This could actually work. Second, Catherine continued, we'll target his weakest properties. Ella will offer to buy them at rock-bottom prices. When he's desperate enough, he'll have to sell. That's when we spring the trap. What trap? We'll discover evidence of his illegal activities, Catherine said. And trust me, men like Marcus always have illegal activities. They think they're too smart to get caught. We'll prove them wrong. Elena spent the final months memorizing every detail of Marcus's business empire. She knew which buildings he owned, which partners he worked with, and which deals were legitimate versus which ones crossed legal lines. She also investigated Victoria. Her former best friend had used Marcus's money to launch a fashion line. But Catherine's research showed Victoria had stolen designs from smaller artists. The same thing she'd probably done throughout her career. We'll destroy her too, Catherine promised. But first we focus on Marcus. He's the bigger fish. ## the return. 1 year after Elena Martinez disappeared, Ella Moretti arrived in New York City. She checked into the Plaza Hotel's penthouse suite. She wore a white Chanel suit and carried herself like royalty. Reporters from financial magazines wanted interviews with the mysterious Italian investor. "Ms. Moretti, what brings you to New York?" one reporter asked. "Opportunity," Ella said with a slight Italian accent. "I've heard this city rewards those brave enough to take risks. I intend to prove that true." That night, Catherine came to her hotel room. "How does it feel to be back?" "Strange," Elena admitted. "I keep expecting someone to recognize me." "They won't," Catherine assured her. "You're completely transformed. Even your own mother wouldn't recognize you on the street." That thought made Elena sad, but she pushed the feeling away. Ella Moretti didn't have time for sadness. She had work to do. "Tomorrow you have a meeting with the Sterling Investment Group," Catherine said. "Marcus will be there. That's your first test. Can you face him without revealing your identity?" Elena's heart raced. Tomorrow she'd see Marcus for the first time in a year. The man who destroyed her life. The man she was going to destroy. "I'm ready," she said firmly. "Good," Catherine smiled. "Remember everything I taught you. Ella Moretti is powerful, cold, and always in control. She doesn't care about Marcus Blackwood except as a business opportunity." That night, Elena stood by her hotel window and looked out at the city lights. Somewhere out there, Marcus was probably celebrating another successful business deal. Victoria was probably enjoying the wealth she'd stolen. They had no idea what was coming for them. "I'm coming for you," Elena whispered to the night. "You took everything from me. Now I'll take everything from you. And when I'm done, you'll know exactly who destroyed you. You'll know that the weak, trusting girl you mocked became the powerful woman who ended you." The next morning, Elena Martinez was gone completely. Only Ella Moretti remained sharp, dangerous, and ready for war. ## the first encounter. The Sterling Investment Group meeting was held in a conference room on the 45th floor of a Manhattan skyscraper. Ella arrived exactly on time. Her assistant, hired through Catherine's connections, carrying her briefcase. 8 people sat around the conference table. Ella recognized Marcus immediately, though he'd gained some weight and his hairline had receded slightly. Victory had made him soft. Next to Marcus sat a man Ella didn't know, tall, dark-haired, with intense green eyes. He watched her enter the room with obvious interest. "Ah, Ms. Moretti," the meeting chairman said. "Welcome. Please sit." Ella sat directly across from Marcus, her face showing nothing but professional courtesy. His eyes passed over her without recognition. "Perfect. For those who don't know," the chairman continued, "Ms. Moretti is an investor from Europe looking to expand into American markets. She's particularly interested in Manhattan real estate." "How interesting," Marcus said, his voice dripping with condescension. "Another foreigner wanting a piece of our city. Tell me, Ms. Moretti, what makes you think you can compete here? This isn't Europe. We play by different rules." Ella smiled coldly. "I don't play by any rules, Mr. Blackwood. I make my own." The green-eyed man laughed. "I like her already." "And you are?" Ella asked. "Daniel Reed," he said, reaching across the table to shake her hand. "I run Reed Industries. We're Marcus's biggest competitor in the luxury real estate market." So this was Daniel Reed. Catherine had told her about him, young, brilliant, and ruthless in business. He'd been battling Marcus for market dominance for years. The meeting continued with boring presentations about market trends and investment opportunities. Ella contributed several insightful comments that made everyone pay attention. She'd learned well from Catherine. Marcus kept staring at her, but not with recognition, with interest. The idiot was attracted to her. Ella wanted to laugh. After the meeting, Daniel approached her. "Ms. Moretti, I'd like to discuss a potential partnership. Would you have coffee with me?" Before Ella could answer, Marcus interrupted. "Actually, Ms. Moretti, I was hoping to steal a moment of your time as well. Blackwood Enterprises has several opportunities that might interest you." Ella looked between the two men, rivals competing for her attention. This was useful. "Gentlemen," she said smoothly, "I'm having a reception at my hotel this Friday evening. Why don't you both attend? We can discuss business in a more relaxed setting." She handed them each an elegant invitation card. Catherine had prepared hundreds, and walked away, her heels clicking confidently on the marble floor. Once in the elevator, Ella let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. She'd done it. She faced Marcus and he didn't recognize her. The plan was working. But then she thought about Daniel Reed's green eyes and the way he looked at her. Not with greed like Marcus, but with genuine interest. That could be a complication. "Focus," she told herself. "Don't let anyone distract you from the mission." ## an unexpected ally. Friday's reception was a success. Wealthy investors filled the plaza's grand ballroom, networking and drinking expensive champagne. Ella played the perfect hostess, charming, sophisticated, and mysterious. Marcus arrived with Victoria on his arm. Ella's breath caught when she saw her former best friend. Victoria had changed to more expensive clothes, professional makeup, an air of superiority. "Ms. Moretti," Marcus said, kissing Ella's hand in a gesture that made her want to scrub her skin. "Thank you for the invitation. This is my girlfriend, Victoria Chun. She's a fashion designer." "Charmed," Ella said, looking Victoria directly in the eyes. Victoria smiled but showed no recognition. "Good. Your dress is beautiful," Victoria said. "Who designed it?" "I did," Ella lied smoothly. Actually, Catherine's stylist chose it, but Ella needed to establish herself as someone with taste and talent. "Really?" Victoria looked skeptical. "You design as well as invest?" "I contain multitudes," Ella said mysteriously, then excused herself to greet other guests. Daniel Reed arrived alone, looking handsome in a dark suit. He made his way straight to Ella. "Impressive turnout," he said. "You've been in the city 1 week and already have half of Manhattan's elite eating from your hand." "I'm persuasive," Ella said. "You're something else entirely," Daniel replied, and something in his voice made Ella look at him more carefully. He was still staring at her, but this time there was suspicion in his eyes. "Can I speak with you privately?" he asked quietly. Alarm bells rang in Ella's head, but she kept her face neutral. "Of course." They stepped onto the balcony, away from the party noise. The night air was cool and carried the sounds of the city below. "I know who you are," Daniel said simply. Ella's heart stopped, but she kept her voice steady. "I'm Ella Moretti. We established that." "No," Daniel said. Part 3. Ashes and Redemption. The trap is set. 3 months after Victoria's fall, Ella made her boldest move yet. Using multiple shell corporations, she quietly purchased 35% of Blackwood Enterprises stock. Marcus had no idea one person owned such a large stake in his company. "It's time," Catherine said during a strategy meeting in Ella's hotel suite. Daniel was there too, along with a team of lawyers Catherine had assembled. "We call for a shareholder vote," one of the lawyers explained. "You own enough stock to challenge Marcus's leadership. We'll expose his illegal activities and force him out of his own company." Ella looked at the mountain of evidence they'd compiled. Marcus had committed fraud, tax evasion, and multiple counts of corporate espionage. He'd stolen properties using forged documents. He'd bribed city officials to approve unsafe building permits. He destroyed competitors through blackmail and intimidation. "This will send him to prison," Ella said. "Yes," Catherine confirmed. "He'll lose everything: money, freedom, reputation. Just like he tried to do to you." Ella should have felt excited. This was the moment she'd been working toward for over a year. But instead she felt,